My name is Rachel. I'm 25. I'm currently a civil servant and I'm a volunteer. I currently volunteer at Grown Up Initiative, which is sort of this farming community at Khatib, located at Otto. I usually spend all my off days at Grown Up Initiative, so like twice a week, and then usually evenings after work, if I don't have any plans, I also use that time to volunteer when the work can be like remote. I started volunteering because I think I wanted an environment that was a bit different from like the very busy life in Singapore. There's a very nice community and people are more than happy to sort of guide you, like teach you the ropes and bring you into their communities. So when I was in university, I started volunteering for more like sustainability campaigns. So that was when I got involved with like waste audits, like trying to get people to reduce their plastic waste. And then I think over time it gave me a greater awareness of the environmental issues that we were facing, as well as what we could do as individuals and as collectives. I think when I volunteer, I also feel like I'm serving a larger community. Yeah, like being able to cook for the community, being able to like plant a plant that will eventually be sold as harvest. There are all these small little things that you're just here for like a few hours to do, but it accumulates to something that's so much bigger than just yourself. And another influence was also like being an aunt. So I think once I started coming to Grown Up Initiative, I also had the opportunity to guide a lot of young kids and to sort of expose them to nature, which I realized that it wasn't a common thing in Singapore. I think we grew up in a super urbanized city and we don't know the plants that are around us. And I think I show up every week here because I see it as part of building a space that I want to see exist for my nephew as he grows up. So it's been 13 years since we moved here, and I think from just focusing on farming production, we've also expanded to more environmental education work. So there are three main pillars, which is the farm unit, so allowing people to learn how to farm and grow their own food or see how food is grown. There's the wood unit, like the woodworking unit, which is touch wood, where they do a lot of woodworking workshops, so people learn basic woodworking skills. They build like benches, they build small little stools, and they also use recycled wood. So we try to teach them the value of sustainability and how to recycle materials that we have to build things that are functional for us. And then the last one is the earth oven unit. Yeah, so that's more like baking, cooking using this earth oven that the volunteers like created and built purely using like clay. So volunteers actually cook up a lunch for the rest of the volunteers who are doing like other tasks, and it's pay what you can. So we try to explain that whatever that you pay, right, isn't actually for this meal, it's actually for the next meal, for the next round of volunteers. I think kindness, to me, in how I see it at GUI, really shows up in so many ways. So not just kindness to myself when I'm here to rest, but also kindness to others in terms of building that community. There's so many aspects of GUI that kindness is just like embedded in. And I think when I'm here and I meet new people, there are people that like I really resonate with, right? Like I think if you're here, we share the same values. Like we want to care for nature, we want to care for earth, we want to care for our community. We want to have a space to like rest and reflect and just take a break. And so when I'm here, right, I feel like I'm being kind to myself because I can just show up as myself. And I think along the way I've also brought like so many friends like into GUI. So I also see it as a space where like I get to meet all my friends on the weekend and we are just like doing things and serving the larger community and serving something so much bigger than ourselves. I think growing up in Singapore, I always felt like a rat race. Like everything feels very competitive, and I was definitely like an overachiever for sure. So I was constantly feeling like I needed to be better than others. And even I think it came to the point where I felt a lot of like isolation and loneliness because everything felt very individual. And I think it came to the point where like when my mental health wasn't doing well, I even felt like I couldn't rely on people to get out of that headspace, and I needed to get out of like poor mental health alone. And I think coming to GUI and learning that everything needs to be done in community really taught me that like as humans we are so interdependent on each other. So like whatever you see in the farm, like having to bring people together to maintain it really translates to the way that like we are being raised in this country. Like in a kampong, you can't raise a kid, like it takes a village. And so I think GUI became that community for me, that when I came here, like I saw that there's so much more than just being the best person at work. Like I could also take pride in being the person to care for the plants on the ground and being able to just cook for my community, being able to just show up. And I think that made a huge difference in the way that I identified with like doing well in society and changed the way that I wanted to live my life. And I think that to me is kindness in itself, like kindness in practice. Like how do you love and care for a space? It's really just showing up. My name is Rachel, and kindness to me is showing up to serve something much larger than yourself.